Okay, day 3 of Phoenix Startup Week 2021. Let's get started on our next session. This is a new programming segment that we're offering this year called Startup Spotlight. And I'm pleased to announce that today we have the Crafty Chica, Kathy, it's Cano-Murillo, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Did I pronounce that right?
Murillo,
Well, perfect. So as she's talking to you today, she's going to talk to you all about her business, her brand, the lessons that she's learned through her journey. Okay, Kathy, take it away. Tell us about you and your journey.
Hi, well, I'm Kathy Cano-Murillo, the Crafty Chica, and this year I'm celebrating 20 years of my brand. I started it back, I was working as an entertainment reporter and craft columnist at the Arizona Republic. And I realized that there was not a lot of DIY or creative content for the Latina community of how to make things or even to buy things on store shelves. So I launched Crafty Chica as a way to document my life as a mom of 2, a band wife. My husband, I manage his band, and working a full-time job, and then spending my nights after everyone went to bed working on my website, blogging, sharing craft tutorials. And in 2007, I was able to leave the Arizona Republic to do Crafty Chica full time. And this was before influencer marketing. Within the next couple of years, influencer marketing came in, and that just really helped my business skyrocket. And now here I am. I've authored 10 books. I have multiple product lines. I'll be on the Home Shopping Network on Tuesday with the product line. I've been featured in Forbes, in the New York Times, and it's just been such an incredible journey. And there are some key things that I did along the way that I really feel helped catapult my business. And just as a side note, after building this big brand of Crafty Chica and launching it as a national brand, even though I was, third generation Phoenician doing everything out of my home here in Phoenix, I really missed seeing people and connecting with people. So 4 years ago, I joined up with a friend and we opened a brick and mortar retail store called Mucho Mas Art Studio. It's on 17th Street in McDowell. And I was able to take everything that I used in building my Crafty Chica brand and relay it to a brick and mortar store to build that. And that has had phenomenal success as well. 2 times we've been featured by Facebook Business as success stories. We've been featured on CNN for our business. And we have, we're connected to a beautiful coffee shop called La Bohemia Coffee. And the owners there have the same kind of growth mindset. And it just is a really nice space in Central Phoenix to connect with Latino culture and see Latino art. So some of the things that I did along the way, I'm all about manifesting, and I was manifesting before it was even a thing. Even through the most trying times, every single successful milestone I've had has started with an end goal of seeing that final thing that I wanted. For example, I wanted to be a women's fiction novelist. And I just kept envisioning seeing my book on the counter, new in fiction at the bookstore. And I wrote my drafts. There was a lot of tears. It took a long time to get there, but I just never gave up on that end goal. Same thing with product lines. I would look at the end cap at Michael's stores and I'd say, I want to have a Crafty Chica end cap in Michael's. What do I need to do to get there? And I went to the trade show. I made all of these little kits to give to manufacturers and to press people. And I partnered with the manufacturer and I had an end cap for 8 years in Michael's and other craft stores as well. So everything starts with just knowing that end goal. And when you know that end goal, you also have to know why you want that end goal. So what I have come to do with every single decision in my business where I spend my energy, I think number one, what is the outcome that I want out of this? And then I think, what is the worst thing that can happen if I go for this? And I think, can I handle that? What would I do? Okay, so that way I have both covered, but I always plan for success. I just always just envision that, yes, this is going to happen because I'm going to do the work. And if whatever changes or doesn't happen along the way, rejection is protection, and I work on a different plan. But mainly it's just seeing that end goal and then doing the work to get there. And that means researching, that means applying your strength and your skills to get there, to know that why. So for example, I was working on my product lines, working on blogging and the books, and then I thought, you know what, I would love to have press. How do I go about getting press to show all of this? So then I would follow a magazine or a media outlet that I felt connected with what my business was. And then I just researched them on Twitter and on Instagram. And I found my favorite writers who I felt would understand what my business was all about. And then I would reach out to them and send them a pitch deck. Now, that is another thing that I have for my business. I always have pitch decks. Whatever that end goal is that I want, whether if it's to have my products in a retail chain or a press outlet or to teach a workshop, I always have it lined up, ready to go with a nice picture, a step-by-step agenda, an action list. And when I have a pitch deck for a brand, I research that brand and I think, what can I bring to that brand that they have not had yet? What is something like a wow factor where they will love what I'm going to do and want to hire me again? And I put that together in a deck with the highlights of my career, of my points, of things that I've accomplished, and I send it to them and I work something out. And today is an excellent example. I have a partnership with Dunn Edwards. I painted a mural on my fireplace in my house and they loved it, and my followers all love it. So it's really about this is number 3, is reading the room, like really listening to what people are asking for, what they need in their lives, what you can bring to them. And that means paying attention to all of your social media, what people are talking about in the comments. You can look at your photos on Instagram, your content, and see which ones have been shared the most. Not so much about vanity metrics like likes, but look at the little flag that shows how many people saved that item or shared it, because that is a really good indicator that they love that because they want to refer back to it. So there's all these little indicators that you can use to make sure you're going on the right path to, number 1, fulfill what you love to do, and to number 2, serve the people who are supporting your business. And with Crafty Chica, I've always paid attention to what people are doing. When the pandemic happened, I was familiar with that energy because I remember when the recession happened and everyone wanted craft projects. They wanted to save money. They wanted family entertainment that didn't cost anything, that maybe stepping away from the TV. And so I just loaded up on craft tutorials. And so when the pandemic happened, the same thing, I launched a weekly craft night where everyone would go on Instagram Live and share a 15-minute craft tutorial. And it brought so many people together. And I feel like it established me as someone who is a connector, who connects people with like-minded interests, and served them some content. And some of those people ended up taking that onto a job as a way to make money. Whatever they taught, they're like, wow, this was really good, I'm going to start a scrunchie business. And they use that as ways to get through the pandemic. And for me, realizing with Mucho Mas, we had to close the store during April and May because of what happened. And the shop that was connected to us, a candle shop, he decided to go online only. And my business partner and I, Emily Costello, were like, we know we're in the middle of a pandemic, but should we acquire his space and expand our store? And we decided to go for it. In the middle of a pandemic, we expanded our store, doubled the rent, but we made a plan and we really strategized how we could still connect with people to bring in income for our business. We did virtual classes. We ended up opening 1 day a week on Saturday to sell masks because we knew that's what people wanted. And we turned it into a way that could work for us and help us thrive. So that is a very important thing, is to definitely read the room. Now, the fourth thing that I'm going to tell you that I just recently come to realize is, now I'm all about manifesting, and we all have that end goal that we want and that picture. But you know what? You have to be aware of beyond the end goal. What do you want after you hit that goal? And with all of these things that I have accomplished, all of them started as a vision board or in my journal of these just crazy accomplishments. I never went as far as to say what would happen after. So yes, I did have 10 books that I've authored. I'm working on a new one now, and it was always, I want to have my name on a book. Want to have a book in a bookstore. I want our business to be featured on CNN. But then what? So now I plan further and I say, okay, if I want to have our business featured on a major news outlet, why do I want this? What do I want to get out of it? How will it help my business? So that's what I'm doing now, is I'm taking these end goals and I'm writing down, okay, why do I want this right now? Is it ego? Is it to have it, the logo on my website? Or is it more to reach a wider audience to show the awesome products that I have? Is it to expand more people to be aware of my business? And I write those down, and I even go so far as to say, okay, here is my profit margin right now. I want to have press so that I can increase my profit margin by this amount of money. Like, I get very specific with it. So the main thing of this is, yes, we have our big goals and we think someday I want to reach this goal. Well, take those out of the clouds, put it on paper, and be specific with what it is that you want for your business. Those types of goals, they can be short-term goals and long-term goals. And then you want to put down your why you want that. What is the effect that you want to come from it? And make an action list of what you need to do to get there. And to do that, you can look at other sites or brands for inspiration. When I was launching Crafty Chica, I looked at Tyra's site, J-Lo's site, E-Online. I looked at even Martha's site, and I said, how can I do a Crafty Chica version of what they are doing? And I was able to work with a web designer who could take my personality and translate it into a really nice website. And there are some times when you want to DIY things, but there are other times when you want to hire someone to do a good job for you. And making that switch from DIYing my website to hiring a professional to do it, it changed the whole course of my business. That was one of the best decisions I ever made. And it made me look larger than life. And even to this day, I have people who are like, oh, how many people do you have on staff? And I'm like, oh, me and some freelancers. So that was the biggest thing, was just making it look like a national brand that I could hold up to all of these other brands. And having Mucho Mas Art Studio is a way to localize it so that I can take these workshops or business things that I'm teaching and bring them to Mucho Mas, to the local community, and have classes there. And that has been really successful, merging the two. And so I put these ideas together for you to sum things up, is know your end goals. Like, and I don't mean like the be all end all goal, but say for this week, what is something that you want to accomplish for your business this week? And then do it for the month, for the quarter, and the year. And I am a big list person. I put everything in lists and I use it as my roadmap. And it just feels so good to be able to cross those things off the list. And if you're stressed out, put something easy on your list so that you can still feel like you have accomplished something. One thing I did during the pandemic, I made a little book, and every day before I went to bed, I would write down 5 things that went right that day with my business. Things that, they could be small things, but I just felt like, okay, I am in charge of this energy. I'm in charge of this business. Yes, there were some stressful things, but these are the things I'm going to be thankful for that went right. And at the end of the month, to look at all of those, I'm like, wow, good job. You held it together during these trying times. And the second thing is look at press. Like once you feel good about your business, look into different media outlets that you would like to be featured in. And once you find those, pay attention to the content that they're sharing, the people who are posting, and then look at what you do and how can you come up with 3 different story ideas to be able to pitch to them. So pretend that they came up to you and said, why should I feature your business? What are 3 things about your business that I can feature? Have those ready to go. Prepare for success. Don't wait until they come knocking on your door. You have to just empower yourself that you're going to have a successful outcome. So write down those 3 story ideas, and it could be being the 3rd generation Latina from Phoenix launches a art gallery. It can be whatever those highlights are of your business. And same thing with money. Like get in touch, finances, don't roll your eyes at it. Get excited about it because this is what you're doing. You want to make a living from your passion. So set down those goals of how much money you want to make and then reverse engineer how to get there. Come up with at least 3 to 4 different paths to reach that amount that you set. And say it's $10,000. What do you want that $10,000 for? Is it to remodel your store for whatever reason? Know that outcome of why you want that amount and where it's going to be allotted, and keeping the mindset of turning $1 into $100. And this is a big one because I used to have the mindset of how to squeeze a dollar out of a dime. And I went to a finance conference and I learned the power of switching the mindset to thinking, not squeezing a dollar out of a dime, but turning a dollar into $100. And once you level up that mindset, it really does change everything, the way that you approach opportunities in your business. And a lot of people are afraid of, they think that the financial aspect is just out of their league and they're not worthy or capable of it. And that's pushing it away. If you're doing a good job and you're strategizing and you have a good product, prepare for success and put down that amount of money and what you're going to use it for. And changing the track of your thinking every day, instead of the I can't, I tried, I know, but to yes, I can do this. I'm on my way. Let's get this done. This is going to happen. It just really transforms your business. And I know firsthand because early in the day, I used to call it enthusiastic desperation, all of the hard work. And I thought, you know what? Yes, enthusiasm, but not desperation. No, this is something I'm not desperate. I'm empowered. So enthusiastic empowerment. Let's change it to that. And if you have employees, this is also going to translate to your employees. You want to surround yourself with growth-minded people. And here's something you can do when you're working with someone. You have to think, does this person bring me stress or do they bring me peace of mind? If they bring you stress, that is not the right person to work with. You want to work with people who bring you ease of mind so that you guys can work together to level up. And it's a very simple exercise. And in some cases, it's easier just to say, oh, I'll just deal with the stress. It's not worth it. So stay true to who you are and your purpose.
Wow, that was some good stuff. I feel super empowered right now from just your energy.
Thank you.
I was so if you have any questions, go in Hoover right now, and we can ask them real time. Maybe we'll start with curious. Did you always have this level of confidence, or was it something that you you worked through as you built your businesses?
I've been confident in the way that I feel like I have nothing to lose. I've always kind of been on the outskirts of the cool scene. And so I thought, well, I don't fit in anyway. So I'm just going to do what I want to do and have fun with it and see how far I can go with this. And what I found out was that I met a lot of other people who feel the same way. And I'm really proud that the people I've surrounded myself with are all just action oriented people with a positive mindset. And I mentioned La Bohemia Coffee that is next to Mucho Mas. I mean, to run a brick and mortar, it can be very stressful. There's a lot to handle. But by having this business connected to us, that they sell delicious Mexican coffee drinks inspired by Mexico City, and our store is themed around San Miguel de Allende, we can connect and talk to each other, bounce ideas, and able to lift each other up. If I know something, they can help me, and vice versa. So it's really, that helps build confidence by surrounding yourself with like-minded people. Because you know that if you keep building a strong foundation, you can fall a couple times and it's going to withstand that. So it's okay to fall. It's going to happen. The more you grow your business, the bigger risk you have to take, but you just have to be confident in the foundation that you have built so that it can withstand a fall or two and you can get up and try again.
That's awesome. Wondering, I loved what you said about the types of people that you surround yourself with. There's that quote that you are the 5 people that you spend the most time
Yes.
with. And I wondered if you could clarify a bit or just elaborate on your opinion on, you said, if you're noticing that people are bringing you stress, don't work with them. You want to surround yourself with people that bring you peace of mind. But I'm sort of thinking through my experiences in life, and I know from being a people person that other people feel the same way. There are people that you may be a little intimidated by, right? Like maybe they're better at something than you are, or whatever. And I guess you could map this to lack of confidence or maybe some insecurities. Are you talking about like not working with them, or like
No,
what do you
not at
think about
all.
that?
Well, I think that we're all in this together. We all have our goals, we all have our insecurities. And when I come up to someone who maybe I think is intimidating, I will push myself to go up and say hi and introduce myself to them. And 9 times out of 10, they're pretty cool. And you just have to let go of that fear of thinking that people are at different levels and things. But I'm talking about, like, I'm a very positive mindset person. So rather than surround myself with people who will pick everything apart and you cannot find a solution, it's always problem after problem after problem, that is not going to grow your business. And it happens very organically if you just are able to be a solution oriented person, and to the harm of no one and for the good of all. That's what I always say. Like, just let's find solutions. Let's not complain. Let's make this work. If it didn't work, what's the next option? And maybe if it's not meant for me, how can I pay it forward to someone else? So it's not so much like not working with them, but maybe just choosing, where you spend most of your energy. It just naturally happens. You're going to gravitate towards the people who have the same type of energy as you. And even if you have different interests, it's still just that higher vibration mindset to find solutions.
I was just thinking that when you said higher vibrations, as I was listening to you talk of, the power of people that are like-minded and how that can be very grounding.
Yes, my daughter and I always say high frequency, low frequency. And some days, she'll say, I'm having a low frequency day today, don't judge. And I'm like, okay, we all have our low frequency days. But yeah, it's cool to just surround yourself with people who, like you said, the higher vibration thinking.
Who are your mentors? Who did you go to during the beginning, and have they changed during over time?
I feel like everyone is a mentor to me. Everyone who inspires me all across the board, from the person behind the coffee counter serving me my coffee to, the finance conference lady. However, there have been women in my life who have taken a chance on me. And for, at the newspaper, I didn't have a journalism degree. And the features editor, after our interview, she told me she couldn't hire me. But 2 days later, she called me and gave me a chance. My product line at Michael's, there is a CEO of a craft company, and she hired me away from the newspaper. She took a chance on me. And those women who took time out of their busy schedule to break the norm of tradition of proper hiring or opportunities, they took a chance on me, and look what happened. And that inspires me to take a chance on other people that I meet. And I meet people, and I know we all do this. You can see that spark in them. And it's like, wow, they just need matches to keep it going. So that's really where the inspiration comes, is the way that people have treated me and given me opportunities. I hold that, I anchor it, and I want to pay it forward to other people I meet.
That's incredibly powerful. I mean, I believe that mindset really makes the world a better place.
Yes.
So thank you for that. We have a question. This is kind of funny, but I think they're serious.
Okay.
What is the best way to grab coffee with you? I think I want some of that optimism and energy.
Well, I am at Mucho Mas. I'm usually there. The next couple weeks, I'll be there Thursdays through Sundays, but Thursdays are a good day to drop by. And I this summer, I want to start doing something called office hours, where you can sign up for a 15-minute session, and you email me your problem where you're stuck. And then we sit down for 15 minutes, and I give you, like, here, try this, try this. So you can look forward to that. You could go to craftychica.com, because I'll post it there when I'll start doing that. But yeah, come see me at Mucho Mas Art Studio.
Wonderful.
And there's the coffee next door at La Bohemia.
I'm sure it's excellent. I'll stop by for sure. I'm close to there. And lastly, what is something that you learned from the pandemic?
Wow, what I learned from the pandemic is the power of community. That as long as we stay connected with each other to educate and support each other, we can get through anything. And it was very traumatic on so many levels. And just, I hosted a virtual retreat of crafts, and I had a couple ladies who cried because they had not had any time with anybody. And so to be there with 100 other people on a Zoom screen and to laugh, and it just was just so meaningful to them. So the bottom line is just staying connected. And I know we're always like, oh, put your phone down, interact with people. But if it wasn't for social media, I don't know if my business would be this strong. So it's using it in healthy ways to connect.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Kathy, for being with us today, for sharing your energy and
Thank you for having me.
Yes. So craftychica.com. We'll see you in a little bit for our next session. Again, thank you, Kathy. Be well. We'll see you.